everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where you boys always have something to say about the Blue Jays. I am your host, Nicholas Blaylock.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And today, guys, we're going to be looking at the Detroit bullpen because there's been some rumors that the Detroit Tigers were interested in Danny Jansen. So who are we going to grab for Danny Jansen? Yeah. I think I want some of those juicy bullpen pieces. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and use code TODAYJAYS to sign up for Monkey Knife Fight. Like we talked about this Danny Jansen rumor.
Yes.
This would be honestly really ideal for our catching situation and for our bullpen situation.
Yeah, exactly. We kind of broke it down just a little bit, like scratched the surface in a previous video, so go take a look at that if you guys want. Basically, Cole's notes of it, though, is Detroit has shown interest. We don't know if this is real. We don't know if this is rumors, but like, fuck it. We're going to roll with it because I'm okay with potentially trading Danny Jansen, but it means lots of juicy bullpen guys in return, and Detroit definitely has some of those.
Oh, they got a lot. I mean, let's start with the big fish right at the head of the rotation, Gregory Soto. He's 27 years old. He's got 3 years after this year, and he's going into his arbitration year. So a lot of teams, especially the Tigers, which looked like they were trying to exit a rebuilding phase, looks like they're still in it. So they might want to flip a guy like Soto for a lot of value right now because he's got the most value out of a lot of these bullpen guys. And he's elite. He's their closer. 2.48 ERA, 1.14 WHIP. And he throws 98 fastball out of the pen, which we need some more heat coming out of that bullpen.
Absolutely. Now, I will say we were looking at him the other day, and some of those expected numbers aren't exactly where I wanted them to be necessarily. Yeah. But when you look at his baseball reference, being 27, he's had 4 seasons prior to this, and it's been slowly getting better and better and better and better as time goes on. So it's got all the makings of a player that you want to see, the player that you want to trade for. And if this is the beginning of the stretch of like, oh, Gregory Soto, like he's an elite closer, right? Like, and that would make sense with his age, then you want to hop on it right now. I could see a little bit of hesitation. I got to ask you, I could see a little bit of hesitation with the Detroit Tigers considering he does have so much team control left. Like, do you feel that same way?
No, I definitely feel that too. But again, if they really want to ship him off, it would be a high value. But yeah, like if they're trying to win in the next 2 to 3 years, maybe I'd give him that. Like, Gregory Soto is going to be a big part of your bullpen.
I agree. So he is definitely borderline, but he's the big name that carries the most value just because of the team control and because of what he's doing right now. So sign me up. Give me some Gregory Soto. He's definitely number 1 on this list. Number 2 for me, like if we had to go in order or ranking this or anything like that, and you guys should know this name because we talked about this guy tons of times.
I know what you're talking about.
In the offseason, right? It's like, I'm still on this train, guys. I'm still on this train.
Me too.
Management screwed up in the offseason. They did not acquire him. We're talking about Andrew Chafin right now. Or is it Chafin? I always screwed that up in the offseason too. Anyways, Andrew Chafin, 32 years old. He's kicking ass right now over in Detroit, just like your boy said that he would. 2.66 ERA, and literally he could be getting unlucky because his FIP is 2.14.
Yeah.
So it's like his FIP is beautiful, his WHIP is nice, it's just everything about Chafin is good, and he's got a player option after this year, which I think he'll probably pick up at $6.5 million, which is decent for a reliever.
Yeah.
I like everything about him, dude. He's gonna be good for the remainder of this year. He's gonna be good for next year. We should have signed him in the goddamn offseason.
I know. Well, hey, if you trade for this guy, like I definitely want him to be picked up with that player option. That is going to be perfect because look, I like 1 year rental guys, but I mean, there's a lot of doubts creeping in a lot of Blue Jay fans' mind. Like, is this not maybe the year, especially with the Yankees and the Astros? Okay, well, let's get guys with some more team control. So if we can get him for that second additional year, that'd be amazing. Now he doesn't have the hard throwing fastball, but he's Andrew Chafin and he gets a lot of good outs, and he's relatively cheap. He has a trade value of 4.3, so I mean we could toss in some middle prospect and probably get him.
1000%. And I also think maybe out of this list he's the most proven because he's just had a very solid career up to this point. He's doing really good right now. He was doing really good last year. He was doing really good the year before that. So it's just like, I know what I'm gonna get out of Chafin if we trade for him. And if we can get that player option, and even if he doesn't say, like, let's say he doesn't want to do it, let's have a conversation. Let's get him extended. Let's do something like that. Let's just keep him on the team, guys, because he would be nice. He's the second most valuable dude as far as trading goes on Baseball Trade Simulator from Detroit.
And now, actually, the third guy who's also the third most valuable.
It does make sense, right?
We might as well go in that order, right?
How that would work, you know?
Michael Fulmer is another guy in the bullpen. Now, Michael Fulmer rang a bell for me when I was looking up his stats. I was like, wait, was this guy a starter? He was.
Yeah.
Then they converted him to a bullpen guy, and he's been elite.
He seems to be thriving there now, guys. 2.1 ERA, 30 innings, 30 strikeouts, 1 on the dot whip. Now, he was really good last year as well, so I like a lot of Michael Fulmer. Seems like he's kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
You have something to say?
Yeah. The most impressive stat for me is that 155 batting average.
Yeah.
So dudes are not getting hits off him. So I think that's incredible. And if you look at his expected numbers, they're all great. All the expected numbers are amazing. However, you do look at that, low batting average, but a 1 whip. Well, he does walk a lot of guys. Right. He's 11th percentile, so that's the one issue. He can get himself into trouble, but guys, they can't hit his stuff, so he could still be a good 7 guy for us.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like... come on.
Are we complaining?
Yeah.
Are we? No.
I'm cool with it, man. Like we have some way worse dudes. If you walk the occasional guy, I'm fine with it, bro. So I like Michael Fulmer. I think he's only on 1 year though.
Yeah, he's on a 1 year. Yeah. He's a free agent next, so
which is mildly, it's not great, guys. It's not great. It's $5 million for this year. Basically, it's like 4.95 or something. Basically, $5 million. No problem for the Toronto Blue Jays. But you do want to be kind of acquiring a guy that's going to give you some more years, considering he is 29 years old. He's going to want to test the free agent market as well. Like, it's not going to be, we trade for him, we extend him. Like, he's going to want to test the free agency market because he's doing really good. 29, any team, I think any good team's going to look at it and be like, hey, shit, like, we could use that guy in the bullpen, pay him a lot of money. 100%. So, Michael Fulmer, I want to trade for him, but I'd also be okay with, too, if we don't do that, pick him up in the offseason, man. Yeah. Sign him.
That's true.
Sign him like we should have done this past offseason with Andrew Chafin,
I'm so tired. A little side note, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but man, if we don't do something in this offseason with our bullpen addressing it with money, I'm going to be pissed.
I am going to be
I'm going to actually be angry. I might throw shit at walls.
Yeah, well, it's just, it is so stupid considering how many videos we made. You'd think that, it's almost as if they don't watch us.
Yeah, what the hell, Ross? Like, we're literally giving you the best advice.
I keep telling you what to do, and then you're not actually doing it.
And then look what happens. Oh my God, ridiculous.
We should really run this team, guys. Let's get a petition going online. Blue Jays Today, general managers. Ross, Mark out, Adam, Nick in.
Let's go.
All right, number 4 on this list. Now, I have it as Wiley Peralta, Willie Peralta. Is that how it is? It's 1 L. Stupid name. Fuck you. Anyways, Peralta, 33 years old.
Screw you, Peralta parents.
Yeah, exactly. Why'd you do that to your kid, man? Do you know how many times I typed in Willy on Sport Rack and I could not find him? I was like, where the fuck is Willie Peralta? And I was like, okay, because you're screwing me. That's why. Anyways, he's doing pretty good right now, but it's kind of like, I don't know what to think about it. 2.25 ERA, but his whip is also almost 1.5, and his FIP is almost 3.74. Now, that's why he is negative on Baseball Trade Simulator. So, basically, acquiring Peralta, this is not who you go out and trade for. It's more like we trade for Gregory Soto, and they just throw on Peralta, which I would be totally okay with.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he could definitely pitch in our bullpen for sure. But again, that whip is just a little bit concerning.
It's concerning.
That's something that I'm starting to look more this year. A lot of you guys have come out and said when we analyze a lot of bullpen guys, don't look at the ERA so much. And you know what? You're right.
No, you're right. It makes sense.
A lot of you want to limit the runners on base, right? You want to limit the guys when you're coming in the middle of the inning. Like, those earned runners aren't going to count towards your ERA.
Totally.
It's going to be the guys who you give up with the base hit and walk.
No, I completely agree. I do think, though, somebody like Peralta, he's only going to be on contract for this year and this year alone. And, would I be totally fine if this is our guy who comes out when we're losing? Yes.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's okay, Peralta's going to be our back-end relief guy.
Cool.
Great. It's better than what we have right now.
Literally,
so I will absolutely take that, in that scenario. He's not going to be a high leverage dude or anything, but just a name to look out for, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the final guy on this list is Joe Jimenez, 27 years old. This guy is probably, if you're going to go for, we don't want to get someone super long like a Soto. I don't really want to get a 1-year guy. Joey Jimenez is 2 years. He's right smack dab in the middle, right? He's got an ARB3 next season. And he's, according to TradeValues.com, got a very small value.
I don't agree with it.
Me
I
either.
think it's dumb.
Because you look at the numbers, a 2.23 ERA, and the whip is under 1, 0.91, with an opponent batting average of 188.
Is it 2.23? I wrote 3.23.
3.23? Or is it? I don't know.
Okay, well, somebody fact
Someone's
check
got
us
to
on
fact
that.
check.
That does change things. But either way, he is good at baseball, regardless of what that is, because his whip is below 1, and his FIP is 2.46. So that's elite. 40 Ks in 30.2 innings. It is, however, his first year under a 4 ERA.
Yeah,
so that's like he is, you could make the argument that he's getting a little bit lucky, but he's also not, because the numbers are saying he's doing good.
Yeah.
So I guess, do I trust him a whole lot? Maybe not, but I do trust him probably more than I trust some of our other guys who are proven to be assholes.
Because if you do look at the expected numbers, they all say he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. In terms of expected batting average, expected slugging, and hey, those hard-throwing lovers out there, he throws 96 with an 85 slider. That's some pretty good wipeout stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's 27 years old. I can totally see them moving on from him as well, but they're not going to get a whole lot from him if Baseball Trade Simulator is right. But I did the math, guys. Danny Jansen, if we're agreeing with Baseball Trade Simulator, Danny Jansen and all of these guys, if you traded Danny Jansen, you could acquire every single one of them. Boom.
Wow.
No problem.
No problem.
We're good now. I'm fine with it. Let's go win a World Series. Danny Jansen for all 5?
100%. I wouldn't even have to think about it, because it would never happen in real life.
No, it's never gonna happen.
They overvalue catchers way too much.
They
really don't think about the future of a team. Like as the more relief pitchers you add on, the price should all increase. There should be a multiplier.
I agree.
Because it's a lot.
I agree, dude. Now, do I think that we could get Gregory Soto and then some? Absolutely, probably. I do for Danny Jansen.
I think we could get 2 at least.
1,000% very valuable. He's got a 915 OPS this year. He's got years on his contract still. Danny Jansen is worth a lot. Now, final thoughts. Do I think that it's going to happen? Probably not. Because, and here's the thing, because the Blue Jays want to hold on to Jansen because he does anchor down the pitching staff. And 2, this would be a big move for the Detroit Tigers to make after trying to invest in catchers in this offseason and just to move on from them right away. I think that a trade like this is much more likely this offseason when teams can kind of build their rosters more like they're not in the fray of we're trying to win ball games, but you can construct your roster from the ground up. I do think Jansen is going to get moved at some point. I don't know if it's going to happen this season.
Yeah, not this season. Again, I'll keep saying it. Ross Atkins has said he's not going to trade anyone on the starting roster. He especially loves his catcher, so if he doesn't feel like he's getting the right value for Danny Jansen, it ain't going to happen. But this offseason, we're going to be making videos on trading Danny Jansen.
And frankly, I do think that this offseason, it makes a lot of sense for Danny Jansen to get moved, right? Just like with the guys with what they're doing right now, and other teams going to be looking for catchers, it makes the most sense. Does that mean that we're not going to be going out and acquiring one of these guys? Absolutely not. We can totally ship off a few prospects for these dudes, and I think that we should, but 100%. It might just not be Danny Jansen who's doing it and getting the deal done.
100%. Guys, let us know in the comments down below, which one of these relievers do you really want on the Toronto Blue Jays? And maybe, do you think we're going to be trading Danny Jansen at any point? Let us know in the comments down below.
Please hit the like and subscribe button. $3 a month to become a Patreon member. Shout out and thank you to every single one of our current Patreon members. You guys are awesome. And today, Jays is the code for Monkey Knife Fight. Hop onto it. You'll help the boys out a bunch.
And thank you so much for watching. And go Jays, go!